In the early 9th century, Islam's ethos regarding health, hygiene, diet, and caring for the sick inspired Islamic rulers to build the most sophisticated hospitals in the world. These hospitals were proof of the glory of Islam. They were places of compassion, where treatment was given to rich and poor alike, and they were dynamic centers of learning, research, and invention. Here, master physicians, surgeons, and pharmacists redefined medicine, producing an illustrious body of knowledge on anatomy, treatments, medicines, surgical procedures, and tools. In doing so, they laid the foundation for medical advances in Europe during the Renaissance and beyond. As in many other fields of science, Muslim physicians developed pioneering scientific approaches to the practice of medicine. These included the introduction of experimental approaches, evidence-based medicine, clinical trials, and post-mortem autopsies. While the works of Galen, Hippocrates, Indian physicians, and Greek scholars initially informed Islamic medicine, this body of knowledge was quickly transformed and substantially expanded by the research and experience of the great Muslim physicians and polymaths. So who were these great Islamic minds of medicine, and what were their breakthrough contributions to this field of science? The first of the greats was Al-Razi, a Persian polymath and physician from Iran, who was best known for his 20-volume comprehensive book of medicine. This textbook, respected and frequently used in the Western world, presented insights from hundreds of Al-Razi's clinical cases and provided groundbreaking information on diseases like measles and smallpox. Al-Razi was also known as the father of pediatrics and the first physician to introduce urine analysis and stool tests. One of the greatest surgeons of the Islamic Golden Age was Al-Zahrawi from Cordoba, Spain, who devoted his life and genius to the advancement of medicine. His best work, the Kitab al-Tasrif, established the rules of practical medicine and served as a fundamental textbook for centuries to come. Al-Zahrawi revolutionized surgery by introducing new surgical procedures and over 200 surgical instruments, many of which are still in use today. His list of firsts is extensive, including the introduction of catgut for internal stitching, small catgut parcels for administering oral drugs, the use of soporific sponges as an early form of anesthesia, the use of pure alcohol as an antiseptic in wounds, the use of bone to replace lost teeth, the use of cotton to control bleeding, and the use of plaster casts for bone setting. Ibn Zur, born in Seville, Spain, came from a family of 5 generations of physicians. In his most famous work, Al-Taysir, he introduced the experimental method to surgery. He was the first physician to employ animal testing to experiment with surgical procedures before applying them to human patients, and he was one of the first to perform dissections and post-mortem autopsies on humans and animals. Born in Afshana, now Uzbekistan, Ibn Sina, also known as Avicenna in the West, was a renowned philosopher, physician, and teacher. During his life, he composed over 250 medical publications. He wrote the canon that covered the full expanse of medical knowledge at the time, making it the most famous medical textbook ever written, and the most widely used medical book in both Muslim and European countries. It has recently been rated as one of the 50 most influential books ever written. The canon was made up of 5 books and discussed the general principles and materials of medicine, general diseases, and diseases related to particular parts of the body, traumatic injuries like fractures and dislocations, and recipes for remedies. In his writing on fractures, Ibn Sina noted that a fracture should not be splintered immediately, but rather on the 5th day. The discovery of delayed splintage is generally attributed to a 19th century Western medical scientist, George Perkins. Al-Mawsili, an ophthalmologist from 10th century Iraq, designed a hollow needle to remove a cataract by suction, an operation that is still carried out today. He also wrote the Book of Choices in the treatment of eye diseases, in which he discussed 48 diseases. The most famous of all the Muslim ophthalmologists was Ali ibn Isa, also from 10th century Baghdad, Iraq. He wrote the Notebook of the Oculist, the most complete and authoritative textbook on ophthalmology for centuries, describing 130 eye diseases. Ibn Nafis, a Muslim scholar born in Damascus, Syria, is recognized as one of the greatest physicians of his time for his breakthrough description of the functioning of the pulmonary blood circulation system from the heart to the lungs. The first European to describe the pulmonary circulation was William Harvey of England in 1628. Ibn al-Nafis also described the earliest concept of metabolism and developed new systems of anatomy, physiology, and psychology. Medical advancement and innovation extended to herbal medicine and pharmacology too. Many hospitals kept gardens of herbs for use in medicines. Muslim merchants and travelers brought back new raw ingredients and knowledge about their application from all over the Islamic world. These new discoveries, combined with the scientific medical knowledge of the time, resulted in the development of many new medicines. Sabur ibn Sal in the 9th century was one of the first physicians to describe a large variety of drugs and remedies for ailments. Al-Razi promoted chemical compounds in medicine. Ibn Sina described 700 preparations, their properties, actions, and their indications. Al-Kindi determined drug dosage, the basis of medical formulary, and Al-Zarawi pioneered the preparation of medicines by sublimation and distillation. A progressive age in medicine arrived as a result of the outstanding work of these Muslim medical scientists. They elevated the field of medicine to a new level of knowledge, capacity, and rigor, and changed the world forever, giving to the masses a new hope of good health. They were the architects of a robust academic and experiential foundation that inspired Renaissance physicians and brought about a higher standard of living for all humankind.